want to thank our first guest, Jason Eastty from Escape Games. Jason, welcome.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, Jason, just over a year ago, you started a business in Worcester that has generated a lot of buzz, a lot of excitement, Escape Games. Maybe we could start off maybe just by a little bit about yourself, and then we'll get right into Escape Games.
Sure. So I've been in the dental field actually for the last 16 years. Just going into offices, consulting for them, helping to be more efficient, more effective. And that's actually how I met my wife. We met up at a dental office in 2009, and just from then it's been good.
Good. And so obviously a entrepreneurial streak in you. You started a business over a year ago, and a unique business. Maybe you could tell us what Escape Games is all about.
So what it is basically we have, it would be like you and a group of your friends, family, coworkers would come down and we'd lock you in a room, and each room is decorated to its own specific theme, has its own games, puzzles, and your main goal is to get yourself out of that room. And you have 60 minutes to do it, and throughout the game we can give you up to like 3 clues if you need help. But yeah, that's the main gist of it, and so far it's just going so phenomenally well. The reception's been amazing.
Yeah, I mean, and you've grown the business, and just having had a chance to come down and visit with you recently and see, you know, so I try to like think of like board games you might play, you know, growing up, where you have to, there's a team or yourself kind of put the pieces to the puzzle, you know, clue, whatever. Clue. Yeah. Each one of the rooms has kind of a theme. You're solving a problem, a riddle, a murder.
Yeah, oh yeah. In our crime scene room, you do have to not only escape, but you do have to determine who murdered the main person that you're there for, to figure out who murdered that person, and then also escape the room as well. But each room is decorated to the specific theme. Like the crime scene is decorated like a crime scene. The museum is decorated like a museum.
And what was the one with the nuclear codes?
So you were in Fallout, which was our newest room we opened in October, and so that is decorated, as you saw, like exactly like a Fallout shelter, what we envision a Fallout shelter to be. So it's kind of run down, it's very unique. I don't want to give much away, but yeah, it's very cool. We work very hard on that, trying to set the scene as much as possible to make it as immersive as possible, because we really do want people to kind of forget, you know, everything going on around, that we want them to kind of lose themselves in the room and to really be immersed in it.
Yeah, and so, you know, one of the things in kind of marketing and talking about and learning about it is it's something, you know, you can come down with a group of your friends or fun, kind of team exercise, but it really kind of, as you said, forces you kind of solve problems together. Oh,
it does. I don't think there's any better team building exercise than that, because you really are, we're locking people in a room together. You have no choice but to work together to get out. And the teams that do successfully get out are the ones that really communicate well and really work together well to get out.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, when you came up with this idea, I mean, what brought you to this point? And that's one thing we always like to talk about is, you know, with our members, how did they get into business? What kind of prompted them? And then, you know, what are the opportunities, and then what have been the challenges?
So the way we got into it, so the industry, it actually started as a computer game. It was just a point and click with your mouse computer game to escape a room. And then in 2007, someone decided to turn it into like a real life escape room. I think that was either in Canada or Japan, is where that actually started, the live version of it. And so I think in 2015, my wife had seen something on Facebook for an escape room in Boston, and I had never heard of this before. So we immediately booked a room, went up there with a group of friends. We were confident that we would get out. We did not get out, but we had so much fun losing that we knew there was something to it. And I can't think of anything else that's like that, where you lose, but you still have a great time. And we were talking about it for at least a week afterwards. So I knew that there was something there, something that I wanted to be a part of, and I knew that Worcester did not have an escape room.
All right. So then you went about trying to find space, ideas?
I did, yeah. The space we're at now on Grove Street is the third space we looked at, and we had signed like a letter of intent with other spaces that kind of fell through for one reason or another. A lot of it was because people, I guess, for lack of a better way of putting it, didn't trust what we were doing, because when you explain it to people, especially when I had to have people help me find a space, they always asked, well, what are you doing? And I said, I'm locking people in a room. And so you got some interesting looks there, but the space we ended up at Grove Street is just perfect for it. The layout's perfect.
And that 100 Grove Street, the fix, the kind of next to the North Works, so for people who might not know exactly where that is. So it's good location, parking accessible from all different points.
Oh yeah, it's a phenomenal location. We're very, very lucky to be there.
And when you say you lock them in the room, I mean, people are locked in a room and they've got to move around and solve pieces and come up with issues. And if they're really stuck, you might let them out, right?
We don't keep anybody in there past that time because the liability would be ridiculous. Then we'd end up having to feed people as well, which I don't want to do. But no, there is an emergency exit button. Anyone can get out. And as you saw, there's nothing claustrophobic about it at all. It's a normal size room. The fallout shelter is a pretty big room. So, and that's a lot of people's concerns is that it's going to be claustrophobic or too dark, which, it's neither one of those things.
Right. And interactive communications if needed as well, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We have staff that monitors each game. We have audio and video in the rooms, and we watch them as they're playing the game to kind of nudge them if they're stuck, if they're really sitting there. They can ask for 3 clues, and sometimes we go above and beyond that because we don't want anyone not having a good time.
Right. And with the year anniversary, well, let me, just before I ask you that question, I mean, you're in both of these things. I mean, you mentioned you're in kind of the dental business. I mean, you literally have to get into production here.
Yep.
I mean, set design, really make and produce all these things. How did you go out and do that, putting together a team? You help. How did you design?
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of the tough thing at first, to try to do everything myself, and I lasted maybe a month or 2 doing that before I basically put ads on Craigslist, and I got a lot of response from WPI students, which is absolutely huge. And then we also got a message on Facebook from this guy that had designed the haunted house in Worcester, and he was considering moving to Arizona. So he wanted me to check out some props he was selling. So we met up, and then I saw his work, and he helped me do some work. And I said, okay, well, you can't move to Arizona. So I kept him here, and he's the man, the guy, our guard Carlos, that handles all the set design, and that's just exactly what he does. He's phenomenal, and he's the one that did all of Fallout.
Yeah, and I think he was the gentleman that was there that day.
Yes.
Yeah. No, but incredible. I mean,
he's so talented.
You would think you were on a movie set, real life, just in terms of the experience of Fallout.
No, we're very fortunate with our staff. I like to surround myself with people who are way smarter than I am to be able to achieve what we've done so far in a year, and it's phenomenal.
We just got a couple minutes left. So how do people learn about escape games, book times? We want to make sure we're getting more visitors for you.
So everything is done on our website at escapegamesworcester.com. They're able to book the rooms. You book them in advance. Everything's taken care of online. Then you just show up. We brief you on the rules. We let you know, and then we give you the backstory of the room, and then we let you go to town. And
so in addition to that, for people, groups, businesses, you've got a little event space too. So before or after your team can get together.
Yeah, we just opened up a few months ago what I think is a pretty cool lounge. It looks almost like a bootlegger's pub or something like that. Yeah, we have a lounge space. We've had a ton of team building events there. We just had AbbVie come through with 270 employees, not all at once, but.
Wow.
But yeah, this is really taken off for team building, and people love that space.
Great.
Yeah.
And in 1 year, what's been the biggest surprise?
Oh, that's a tough one. So our game masters will give people clues, and people will read the clues, and then immediately we can hear them say aloud that that's not right. That's the biggest surprise. People disregard the clues we give them, almost like we're trying to deceive them.
Well, it was cool. Our team's going to come down at some point in the next several months and take advantage at the chamber.
Nice.
I want to thank you for being a member of our organization, and
Absolutely.
Thanks for bringing kind of this new, exciting innovative business to the community. I mean, there's a lot of great things happening, and to have people having the opportunity and businesses to have a range of different experiences, and this is not your typical business. So,
No.
thank you, Jason.
Thank you.